What up, YouTube? It's Blake Predict back with pretty much a rant. I'm not understanding this stupid shit. Conspiracy theory, fake planes. Clearly, people have seen the two planes hit the towers. How are they fake? Like, were they paper planes? Like, did a paper plane make that big of a hole? Like, so I'm gonna listen to this and let's look how the fuck these are fake planes. Yes, there was probably a detonation before the planes went in, but that doesn't mean the planes are fake. Spark. The impossible physics. It's a fucking 737 that weighs about 20 tons hitting a fucking building at probably a couple 500 miles per hour.
As far as I've known, when an aluminum structure like an airplane hits a steel and concrete structure, there should be some sort of collision at the point of impact.
When I first took a look at some of those film clips, you know, the plane just sort of melting into the building, I really didn't know what to think about it. But I mean, your point is so elegant and obvious that the physics of the interaction just wouldn't permit this rather flimsy airline to just melt through this steel and concrete building. I mean, it just couldn't happen.
Physics. This can't be what would happen in a real collision of this sort.
The first law says an object will remain in uniform motion until it's affected by a force, and the second law says that it'll be affected by that force in a direction that the force is applied, which of course in this case would be more or less directly opposite the path of the oncoming plane. Right? So that plane ought to be crumpling up here, but of course it's not. It's passing through at uniform motion. And
you gotta remember the plane's going at about 500 miles per hour. That bus, 20 miles per hour. Yeah, that wall is gonna fucking win. A plane's 500 miles per hour. Look, you people are stupid. They clearly don't know speed. Like, have you seen a Lamborghini hit a wall at like 200 miles per hour? Yeah, that wall moves and that car crumples, okay? This fucking building has space in it, has walls that can like crumble and shit. This isn't just a steel fucking wall, you idiots. This isn't just steel, cement, steel, cement, steel, cement. It's fucking like bars and shit. There's glass and stuff, and there's other walls. It's gonna go through it. What? It's fucking stupid.
If we slow down two of the alleged impact videos,
yes, there is a
not
flash.
with physical impact. The plane's wings would not slice through box section steel columns, which is what seems to occur. The wings would buckle or snap, and debris would be seen falling to the ground. In this clip, a plane lands too heavily, illustrating just how light and fragile a plane's structure is.
We're going to see a Boeing
Wow.
767, which is hijacked, crash into the ocean off Comoros. Watch this get shattered. Look at that right wing.
Jesus.
this is a 767?
Yeah.
Newton's third law, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, which of course means we could treat the plane as stationary and the building as hitting it as 560 miles an hour. Or
See?
the
They know that.
the plane impacting at 560 miles an hour. And you're going to have a similar effect. The plane, in terms of its impact on the building, simply showing, again,
See how that wall moved?
You don't see the gases in the building that the plane purportedly is making as it passes through the building.
Some have described these impact dynamics as cartoon physics. The alleged plane shows barely any deceleration, which is also impossible.
You know, they must do some knee slapping every day about how stupid and controllable people are.
Absolutely right there, gosh. Unbelievable.
The wingtip isn't even strong enough to hold fuel in it. The fuel is held further closer to the body. Right. What got to me was that upper wingtip slot. There was a 5-inch deep slot cut into the building. This can hold the lights.
Not there. Did you just see the fucking... Oh, golly. Look at that. The wing didn't go all the way through. It went all the way through. There's a tip. Okay. There's the body. Other tips about... Other ends right here. The tip's like somewhere over here. It'll go all the way through. See how when it hit, it bent and then it went through? Yeah, these are complete steel columns, but again, the plane's going at 500 miles per hour, people. They're literally not They're stupid.
thing. This can hold the lights on the end, but you can't slice a steel column.
I know. I'm seeing what they mean now. Is that fiberglass is going through a steel column?
Something even more preposterous.
Okay, that makes
The
sense.
plane is weaker than the building. The structure of the plane is made out of metals that are weaker than the steel structure. Steel of the building. So therefore, you should see the building cutting into the plane's wings.
You might ask, how did the buildings get holes that are shaped like planes if the planes could not penetrate the steel columns? The Nordeck clip of the North Tower sheds light on how this may have been done. Watch carefully. The alleged plane is seen to penetrate the building, and several seconds later something happens on the surface of the tower.
Oh wow. How does smoke get to the top of the tower that fast?
I've stopped the action here. If we compare it with the 3D model, we can see this damage is in the position of the supposed wing hole and was created well after the alleged impact, thus creating the desired Roadrunner effect.
Hi, Miss Hazard?
Yes.
Hi, my name's Jeffrey Hill. Well, the question is, I think it's probably a rather simple one, it has to do with the maximum speed of a 767-200 at 700 feet altitude.
At 35,000 feet, it's 530 miles.
So there's no way that it could be going 500 miles an hour at 700 feet altitude then.
Not a chance. That would be like a rocket.
When a plane flies at 35,000 feet, the air is much thinner than at ground level. In fact, the air at this height is 3 times thinner.
I think,
than at
okay,
ground level.
now I'm understanding what they're talking about, but... So unless if they took the spruce goose, which a lot of people don't know what the spruce goose is, it's a plane in Oregon, in an Oregon Flight Museum, and it's only been flown once, only like 10 feet off the ground, not even 10 feet, like 6 feet off the ground for like 50 meters. And then they landed it, and then it was never flown again because it was made out of all wood. Unless if they detonated bombs where the wing was, I'm still not seeing what they're trying to get at right now. It is understandable at that low of feet, the plane would probably just rip apart. I can't see a plane going that fast because, again, the air is thicker down low, so it would just rip the plane apart.
This is why commercial planes fly at such a height, because the lower air resistance allows them to achieve much higher speeds and use less fuel.
We're talking about the impossible speed of 560 knots or so at 700 feet altitude. We're talking about the entry into the building, which shows none of...
My question is, if it's impossible, how did these terrorists pull it off? Clearly, it's not impossible.
the kinds of interaction or damage to the building or the plane that ought to take place as a physical necessity of the causal interaction. And third, we're seeing uniform motion between the plane in air and the plane passing through the building made of steel and concrete.
So as a plane comes into land and drops altitude, it experiences more and more air resistance as it comes down. So the maximum speed at low altitude is much slower than at 35,000 feet. The speed of Flight 175 given in the Daniel R. Bowes report is in the region of 580 miles per hour. I have verified this speed to be correct using the 3D model.
If a Boeing 767, at cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, it flies at 530 miles an hour, is it possible for it to fly over 500 miles an hour at sea level?
No.
And I talked to another aeronautical engineer from Canada, and he said since the air is 3 times as thick at sea level, it would need to generate 6 times more thrust, which would be impossible with those engines. So you would be in agreement that, like specifically say like Flight 175,
Yeah.
that speed would have been impossible?
Well, sure, at level flight, yeah, no question about it.
The following clip is researcher Jeff Hill questioning aeronautical engineering technologist Ben Eady about the maximum speed a 767 can travel at sea level.
A 767 or something, it could, its max cruising speed, or its max speed at cruising altitude, 35,000 feet, would be about 535 miles an hour.
That's all right, yeah.
Is it possible to go that speed at sea level? Specifically, like in, say, a Boeing 767 with, like, 2 Pratt & Whitney engines?
No, it cannot. It does not have enough power.
I actually want to call an air specialist. I'm gonna do it. I want to see. Okay, so this is gonna be part of the video. It's gonna be a little longer of a video. So I'm gonna just go like that, and let's look what this person says. So it's at 700 feet, 500 miles per hour. Yeah, because you guys can hear me talk.
Welcome to Aircraft Specialists and Project Charter. For the Charter Department, press 1. For the Service, Avionics and Propeller Departments, press 2. For the Parts Department, press 3. For FBO services, press 4. For a list of extensions, press 5. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time, or for anything else, press 0 to reach an attendant.
Hi, do you have a quick moment to answer some questions?
Yeah, I do have a moment.
I was wondering what the max speed for a 767 would be at 500 feet, or no, at 700 feet. If you know that.
What? No, I do not.
You don't? Do you know who I'd contact to figure out that kind of statistics?
I do not know, no.
Okay, thank you. It was absolutely worthless. Impact level. Impact level, jets impact the Twin Towers. Okay, 90-second. Strike location. Oh, there's 757s. Okay. Aircraft aviation specialist. I'm not becoming a fucking whatever you want to call it. Jet specialist. Okay, here we go. Contact. Is there a number I can contact? Telephone 305 681 018 no 60 60. And I'm asking crap. What am I asking? What's the fastest 757 can go at 700 feet. Right? Was it 700 feet? Oh, sure.
No.
And I talked to another aeronautical engineer from Canada, and he said since the air is 3 times as thick at sea level, it would need to generate 6 times more
At sea
thrust
level,
than
let's just ask
possible with
sea
the
level.
wind.
Sea level sounds good enough. You look at these people can.
Thank you for calling Jet Aviation Specialist. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now. Otherwise, for accounting department, press 2. For customer service, press 3. For purchasing, press 4. For sales, press 5. To access the staff directory, press 6. For all others, press 0. Please hold a moment.
I don't know who to call.
Hello, you've reached Jet Communication Specialist. Our office is South Row. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please call back during office hours, so you may leave a detailed message after the tone and someone will
No. Aircraft specialist. Apparently, I just need somebody to call and talk to. I kind of want to know, but Louisiana aircraft specialist. Is there a number I can call? A number. Aircraft sales. That's not fucking an aircraft specialist. This is selling airplanes. Ambulance, FBO, avionics, maintenance, propeller, maintenance, Learjet, air ambulance, charter home, I don't know. Let's go Boeing. Boeing number. Boeing, contact us. I wonder if they would know. I'm actually gonna end this video. I don't want this like 20 minutes of me just trying to find something. So hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and everyone have a great day.